Gardner-Webb head coach Cris Reisert, the team 27-24 winners against Southeast Missouri last week. This week at Tennessee State on Saturday afternoon. So, Coach, just some thoughts about your squad, and we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, proud of our guys. I thought it was a really quality win against a quality team. Coach Tuke and his staff do a great job, and they've got some really talented kids. And so it was a 60-minute battle, and I thought our guys, played a complete football game. There's a lot that we got to get cleaned up even in week 10 or whatever it is. But I'm proud of the resiliency we showed. Thought it was a gritty win, and I thought we did a great job kind of dominating the fronts on both sides, and that really led to being the ultimate factor in the game.
I want to ask about the fourth quarter, especially, and I think there was 27 total points scored before the fourth quarter, and then you all combined for 24 in the fourth. So just sort of that back and forth, and your team, as you said, you held on to win and made the plays, but just talk about the fourth.
Yeah, we got off to a really good start and then kind of hit a lull offensively in the middle of the game. Credit to Simo, and then our defense really played really well the whole game, and Simo kind of made a little bit of a run late. Scored really quickly a couple times, and they scored 14 in the fourth. We scored 10. I think offensively we went on some really pivotal drives in the fourth there to control the clock and eat clock, and also put points up. I mean, really the last drive for us to drive down and kick a field goal to go up 10 was really, really pivotal. Our field goal kicker had missed a 37-yarder early in the game, the first half, at the end of the first half, and then banged the 47-yarder and then that kick to ice it. And so proud of his grit, and that's not easy. You miss a big kick and you got people coming at you, and luckily our guys rallied behind him, and he rallied behind himself, and he did a great job making kicks later to help us win the football game. So, but really it came down to, I thought at the end, offensively, we were able to sustain some drives and capitalize on some things, and defensively they went down and scored, and then we were able to recover the onside kick. And so, you don't want the game to come down to that, but if it does, you want to be the team to recover it, and we were, and the rest is history.
I'm gonna ask about your defense in a minute because they're very impressive. But I know I've asked a lot about your running backs this year, but what about Cole and how he's been since he's taken over? It seemed like had a pretty he's done what you need him to do and played pretty well.
Yeah, he's played really well. I mean, the first week was a bit of an aberration. We didn't know kind of what was going to happen, and quite frankly, I didn't think I put him in a great position to be successful in week one against Martin. And so that was more poor coaching than it was poor playing. And since we've rectified those things, he's done a much better job. He's played really, really well, and certainly with Nate, our starter at the beginning of the year, going down, that's tough. And Cole has stepped in and done an amazing job, like we knew he would. And he's been calm, cool, and deliberate in each of the games, and he's gotten better, I think, in every game out. And so I think his best football is still ahead of him. We're still chasing that, and but certainly he's playing with confidence, and I think that he'll continue to make winning plays as the season goes on.
Well, let's talk about the defense and the 11 sacks and just the pressure all day on a team that obviously wanted to throw the ball a lot. Whatever the game plan was, I thought it was pretty successful.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I'm proud of the guys. 11 sacks is huge. I think to me, really, it boiled down to I felt like we felt like they'd want to come in and try and run the football, and just kind of listening to Coach Tuke, and that seemed to be kind of a plan that they had, and I thought we were able to stop that and force them into some one-dimensional situations, and our guys were able to make some nice plays. And so it was good to see our D line get the opportunity to do that. They've done a really good job all season for us, and sometimes you're close, but you don't quite get the finish. And I thought they did a good job finishing. And man, Simo's quarterback's a tough dude. He took a bunch of shots and kept battling, and so he was a warrior on Saturday for sure. But proud of the way our guys were able to finish and make an impact there.
Then let's look ahead to this weekend and what you see out of your matchup in your trip to Nashville.
Yeah, no, we're excited to go play Tennessee State. I think they've done a really good job. They've gotten so much better throughout the year. You can tell that the development has been really, really key. And defensively, they're really a talented football team. They've got two of the better ends that I've seen in the conference. They've got really three of the better corners that we've seen in the conference. I think they've got some backers that are playing really good football, safeties that play at a high level, and so defensively, they do some really unique things that you have to be ready for and you have to prepare for. And I'm sure there's other things that they have in their arsenal that they haven't thrown out there yet. And so just trying to be sound offensively to combat some of the really good stuff they do defensively. And then I think offensively for them, I think that they've had some injuries that they're dealing with, but I think they've done a really nice job kind of, piecing it together and having a lot of success there. Quarterback's dangerous. He can run it, he can throw it. They've played two. And so both guys, I think, have an ability to beat you, if you give them the opportunity to do that. And their backs have played well as well. So we understand it's going to be a big test, like it is every single week in our conference. And these guys have gotten better every single week, and you can see the progression. And so we just have to do the same. We have to keep getting better. We have to keep improving throughout the weekend practice. The biggest thing is just having a good week of practice, and we've practiced well the last few weeks, and it showed up on the field. And I think if we can just focus on that, understanding we're playing a really talented football team, and we need a great week, and we just need to keep getting better. We have so many things that need to improve in order for us to be the team that we're capable of being. And we just got to control that. And, we can't control anything outside of our building, but we've just got to isolate that and try and Kaizen and get better throughout the week.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time as always. Best of luck this weekend. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Thanks, Kyle. Take care.